How to Win Your Wife Back. This is Coach Lee, and I'm going to share with you some ways that you can win back the heart of your wife, the attraction of your wife, and the commitment of your wife. The first thing should be more obvious, but a lot of people don't understand how powerful this can be, and that is to simply seek positive interaction. And whatever is going on at the moment, maybe she is just being disrespectful to you. Maybe she's saying she doesn't know what she wants, or that she's losing attraction for you or losing feelings for you, or maybe there's even someone else. Regardless, you need to seek positive interaction, and that can be really simple. It can be as simple as to where the two of you wish each other a good day or a good week, like I hope you're having a good week or something like that. If you have kids together, it can be telling her something about the kids, something funny, something good that they did, or just kind of a moment that maybe you think she wished she could have seen or something like that. Positive interaction. And one of the keys here is that you're avoiding negative interaction. You're avoiding the fighting. You're avoiding those things. Sometimes you're going to have to talk about difficult things for sure, but avoid the small arguments. We don't want her to just think that every interaction with you is going to be negative, or every interaction with you is going to turn into a fight, because she has to have some motivation to want to work on this. And if she only sees the marriage with you as being difficult, stressful, causing anxiety, then there's not any motive for her to really want to work on it, because she thinks she would just be working to receive that negative experience. And so being able to just have some simple positives, so you two are at least civil, can really keep the door open for the future and for a lot of the points that I'm going to talk about. Number 2, and this is more if your wife still lives with you or you still have a lot of interaction with her, and this can be possible, but if you want to win your wife back, one of the best things you can do is to actually participate in shared hobbies together. And I know that that might sound a little bit basic and generic, but hear me out on this. When a couple has something they enjoy together or that they're passionate about, and they do that together, they focus on that, it allows them to experience intimacy around that. And so this helps you to become playmates, or to at least keep that going. And it's really an underrated trait that you can add to your relationship that can really bring you closer in every aspect, emotionally, intellectually, and physically. And it can often bring back some of that attraction that's missing, and it can help you to win her back. So what you can do is go to marriageradio.com. That's marriageradio.com, and type in hobbies in the search box. You will see an extensive list of hobbies. There's hundreds. What I would suggest is that you go through that list and you mark the ones you're interested in, and you mark 20. And you have your wife to do the same thing. She's going to mark her 20, and you're going to see which ones you have in common, assuming you do. If you don't, pick 10 more each, and then go through and see which ones you have in common, and start doing those things together, weekly if possible. More than that is even better. It can really rebuild some of that connection that you've lost over time, because a lot of your connection, a lot of your interaction has been around bill paying, house projects, sickness, disciplining the kids, just dealing with the stress of life. And so bringing back that playmate element is so important and can really turn things around. And oftentimes it's a lot more than people realize that it actually can. Just sharing some hobbies together or some passions. And so go to Marriage Radio and look for that and see what you can do with that. Before I get to the 3 that are a little bit more complex, take a second and get access to my free mini course on saving a marriage. You can go to myexpatcoach.com, or it's at marriageradio.com as well. So if you're already there, and you can choose the marriage tab, and under that you'll see free mini course. It's really powerful. It has an amazing price, and I really suggest that you go through that course. It's going to open your eyes to a lot of things about your marriage and what you can do to save it. So again, that's at myexpatcoach.com or at marriageradio.com, and you click on the marriage tab and you can get the free mini course. Number 3 is something that some people call psychological anchoring. And it's really to just where you kind of put their mind at the start of a certain path. And that way they can go down that path later, and you've kind of planted the seed in some ways. So it can be about maybe things you've done together in the past. And you mentioned the other day that you drove by this place where maybe a special event happened or that you two enjoyed. Or maybe you remembered a vacation the two of you took, and you just mentioned that you remember that and you remember some of the things happening with it. Or you remember something about shortly after your first child was born. Things like that, where you're just bringing up good memories, loving, cherished memories between the two of you that also have some element of novelty or adventure to it. And you're just allowing them to think about that for a minute. And sometimes what it can help do is to simply reshape the way they think about you. And if you're wanting to win her back, we need her to remember when she was attracted to you to strong levels and when you two were good together or your best together, and that it's capable again of happening. And so if you can just make some of those comments, especially if you can get her to talk about it a little bit, like maybe, do you remember when we went to this town and we stayed at this cabin? And do you remember that restaurant we went to? What was the dish that I got that was so good? Or what was the name of that restaurant? Or what did we do that night? I remember we were laughing. What was it? And kind of get her to tell the story. And so you try to go both ways. You tell her what you remember, and then you try to encourage her to do that too. And of course, some of you, I realize you're not in good enough standing to do this. And you're going to have to kind of follow the first step that I mentioned about focusing on positive interactions and avoiding the negatives. And that's where you will hopefully have opportunity to do something like this. And it can just get her to soften up some and to remember that times were good. And it can give her hope it can happen again. Number 4, be a good father. Make sure that she knows. And that doesn't mean that you just tell her, you show her. And you can't fake real. So just be real about it. Be the best dad as you can be. And of course, obviously, I'm assuming you share children with her. But one of the most attractive things that you can do and that you can be is to be a good father to her children, because that's a bonding experience between the two of you. Having kids, growing together with them as they grow up, having those precious times together. Maybe it's the first doctor's visit, the start of school, holidays together, their achievements as they begin to get older. It's a bonding experience between the two of you. It's something that can help bring a husband and wife closer. And it's a natural part of your relationship with your spouse for most people. And so showing her that you are a good dad to your kids is a bonding experience. She can observe and she can see, because she is still a co-parent with you. And she will be indefinitely going forward, permanently. That's something that the two of you will share, that you have children together. And so let her feel that bondedness, that closeness to you that comes when you share children and when you're both being good parents to them. And of course, involving her, keeping her informed, telling her maybe why you did a certain thing, or maybe having a conversation about what's best for your child next with whatever is going on. Those can be bonding experiences, believe it or not. Sometimes they're stressful, but oftentimes if you reach a good conclusion and she can look back and say, he's a good man and he's being good to my son or my daughter, that's a powerful way to win back your wife. Number 5, masculine statements. And what I mean by that is that there are things that men do that are attractive because it's masculine, just like there are things that women do that are attractive to men because it's feminine. And so some of those things include masculine statements, such as, I want to. That's one of the most attractive things a man can say. And of course, you say, I want to, and then say what you want to do. It could be a sport. It could be going somewhere. It could be achieving something, but you're stating that you want to do it. And you can also say, I'm going to. So those are 2 statements you can say, I want to, or I'm going to. I'm going to do this. That's a masculine statement. Another example can be, let's just say maybe that you two aren't interacting as much. Maybe you're separated and you're still texting some. Maybe she asks you about your day. You can say, it was pretty good. I kind of had to give the electrician a piece of my mind, but that's cleared up now. Just things like that. Again, it's a masculine thing to do, that you would be authoritative, that you would expect someone to do good work when you're paying them. That's a masculine statement. Another masculine statement is, I'm not going to do that. But it's just something where maybe you're telling her about some options you have in front of you, and you can just say, but I'm not going to do that. You're basically dismissing it. It is not acceptable. And there's a lot more masculine statements that we can talk about, or that I go over in my workshop for marriages in crisis or on a coaching session. But they're important, and believe it or not, they do have a strong impact on attraction. It's more important than most people know. And there's more things that you can do, and I do go over some of those in the free mini course, as well as my workshop for marriages in crisis, which is called Relationship Reignite. And you can get more information about that at my website, or just go to relationshipreignite.com. The journey can be long to winning your wife back. Think of it as a marathon, not a sprint. It's not something you can just grab all at once. Usually it takes some time, because this didn't happen overnight. Usually where you got to now with your spouse, with your wife, has taken a while. And so it's not something that can happen quickly all the time. But with these things, you can definitely put your foot on the gas and make this happen faster than it would otherwise. And of course, your odds are much better than if you did nothing at all or didn't know these things. So I encourage you to do these things. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.